Hello, welcome to Shad Life. Well, I got more parts in. More importantly, I got the bars in. These things are sweet. I threw them on here just to kind of see what they look like, but I forgot to film taking them out of the box and showing them to you up close. So let me show them to you up close. Okay, here's a closer look at them. They are modern V-bars with the traditional look of the old ones. So the old ones used to be really narrow and pretty low and small. These are legitimate 9-inch rise bars, 30-inch wide with big bars that have the look of the old school V-bars. And I got this brake lever too. Like, wow, that is just amazing. Super cool. There were brake levers that were similar to this at the time, but they were generally a little longer and stuff. So the brake lever, even though it's gold and stuff, doesn't really have the full look of an old school lever. There were levers that would also clamp down here, and then they would curve up like this and stuff like that. But I wanted a functional lever because those ones that were down here were you'd have to like hold your wrist way forward to ride. So I want something that I can actually kind of ride. So, but it's gold and it has a little bit of that classic look to it. The grips, I'll show you those here now that we've taken a closer look at the bar. Okay, here are the grips. They're the waffle pattern grips. Super cool. These are made by Lizard Skins, but they definitely mimic the grips of the time. This waffle pattern, more of a motocross style grip. I'm not going to stick those on yet because I still got to actually legitimately install the bars and stem and everything. But these, at least they're a softer compound than they were back then, so they'll be comfortable, because back in the day these were hard and they weren't very comfortable. So big flanges, yep, that was all the rage. So these will definitely look the part. That's going to be cool. And then I even got a seat. It's kind of a more modern shape to it, but it's got that stitching in it and kind of padding of what older seats used to look like. So that's pretty cool. Let me just throw that on really quick, because that'll really complete what this looks like, and then I'll hold the crank arm up there again and you can start to really picture what this is going to look like. And then I'll show you the tires that I got. Those are cool. Okay, here you go with the seat on it. All right, looking pretty cool. Now let's hold the crank arm up there. I don't have the bottom bracket yet, but this is really heading in the direction that this is gonna look. I mean, that's pretty much it right there. That is looking super cool. All right? Yeah. Stoked about that. This is fun. All right, so let's show you the tires. The tires are pretty cool too, kind of like the grips, right? So I'm not going to install them yet. Obviously, I don't have the tubes or any of that, but I'll put these on soon. But what I want to show you is the tread pattern. These are made by Kenda. There's a couple of brands kind of doing the remake. This is Kenda. I kind of want to figure out how to get that logo off of there, though, because we never had logos like that on ours. So the back tire doesn't. But I actually got the actual size we would use back then. This is a 20 by 2.125, which was common back then. And this is a 20 by 1.75. So the rear tire skinnier and the front tire fatter. That was how we ran them back in the day. But check out this tread pattern. Yeah, it's that old school classic tread pattern from back in the day. That is so cool. And it actually, believe it or not, these actually worked pretty good in the dirt. Like keep in mind, tracks at the time were not the hard packed tracks they are today. They were actually pretty loose dirt. So these actually work pretty good. And again, modern rubber, they're actually soft, right? They are wire bead, right? So they're going to be a little heavier, but these are going to be heavier. I mean, somebody did ask me what the weight of the wheels were. So each wheel is just over 4 pounds. And I was like, well, what does a regular BMX wheel weigh? And a regular BMX wheel is aluminum wheel, aluminum hub spokes, right? And it was even a freestyle wheel, was just over 2 pounds. So these are twice as heavy as a standard aluminum BMX wheel. So, I mean, it's kind of like being a weight weenie at this point is kind of silly, but it's more for the look and just for cruising around and having fun on. And it's definitely meeting that goal at this point. And back in the day, bikes weren't light either. They were pretty heavy back then. So, yeah. Cool. I don't think I got anything else. I mean, I did get the freewheel, which is in here. I got a legitimate Shimano 16-tooth freewheel. I decided to get the all black. They did have the black and chrome, but I don't think the chrome teeth came out yet by 78. So I didn't want to jump ahead in time. So that'll go on there. And then once I get the freewheel on, get the tire on, get the back wheel all lined up, then I can do some measurements and figure out what width spindle I need for that crank arm and crank and sprocket to all line up. So this will probably be my last update on this bike for a little while, because I think I'm at a point where I just need all the small parts to put everything together. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you might realize the brakes aren't on here. I actually returned the brakes for $119. Those brakes they were made by Box. They were Cook Brothers brakes. I thought they were cool. First, the gold didn't quite match, which wasn't the reason I returned them. I mean, obviously I would like a more matching color gold, but the bigger thing was as soon as I took them out of the box, the little covers came off, and there's all these tiny bearings, and the tiny bearings fell out, and I don't know how I found them. They were so small. It was over on my workbench over there. My workbench was messy just like it is now, but I found every single little bearing and was able to put it back in the brake. So then I'm like, okay, everything's good. And then I put the brakes on here, got everything lined up, tightened them down, and then they weren't like free moving. They were kind of like, so something, it seemed weird to me that the brakes would just kind of fall apart like that. Like I've never had a brake do that. Not the internals where the bearings and stuff are. Most V brakes don't have bearings. They're just kind of a friction system, but I thought these would be nice because they had bearings. So I'm going to shop for a different brake, hopefully finding a more matching gold at the same time. But, you know, I saw some V brakes for like 20 bucks, 25 bucks that were gold that probably worked great, right? V brakes, they're pretty simple things. So we'll see where I go with that. Cool. This is definitely a project. I know it seems like I got this far so quickly, but I have a lot to do. I got to figure out, you know, I got to get tubes. I got to figure out the bottom bracket. I got to get everything, you know, set up right. I don't have a headset yet. This is just loosely clamped in there. So I got to get a headset and just get all the small things together and make sure they're right and everything's working right. This is lined up. So I got a lot of work yet to do. And so this will be the last episode on this build. And before I end this video, you might be wondering why I don't have any riding content. Well, the temps finally dropped I feel like it feels more like October than November though, but you know, the daylight shifted, but we've had a bit of rain. And this time of year, things take longer to dry out because we get the cold overnight and the warmer days and whatever. So I'll get out on my mountain bike riding here soon and get some videos. I want to do a night video and stuff like that. Definitely got some work on my fat bike to do and so on. So yeah, there you have it. I really appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.